Mom, this is Dad's favorite, right? Emma held up a package of organic ground meat. At the Whole Foods Market's grocery section, Abigail Watson watched her 8-year-old daughter's delighted expression. The USDA-certified organic seal on the package gleamed under the store's fluorescent lights. Yes, let's make Dad's special hamburger steak tonight. Early summer sunlight streamed through the glass ceiling. In the Woodlands, an upscale suburban area of Houston, this flagship Whole Foods market was bustling with shoppers even at 4 p.m. on a weekday. The store was filled with local housewives searching for organic vegetables and gluten-free products. Their home, a 2-story colonial with 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. A well-maintained front yard surrounded by white picket fences. The 2-car garage where neighborhood children gathered on holidays. Since purchasing it with Daniel 5 years ago, this house had been their family's pride. The red brick walls gleaming in the morning sun and the garden blooming with seasonal flowers, it was truly a symbol of the American dream. Abigail checked her smartphone screen while confirming the groceries in her shopping cart. There was a message from her husband Daniel. I can leave early today. Should be home by 7. She smiled naturally. 10 years of marriage. She was a successful copywriter at an advertising agency, and her husband was a sales director at a pharmaceutical company. And their lovely daughter. She took pride in having a family that anyone would envy. Her husband, who wore his suits well, always made time for family on weekends. Just last weekend, they had hosted a barbecue party in their yard. Church friends gathered, children ran around on the lawn, and adults chatted while enjoying homemade lemonade. The savory aroma of Daniel's proudly grilled steak still lingered in her memory. The Browns from next door joined too, making it a wonderful holiday that strengthened their community bonds. Hey Mom, can I make apple pie for dessert? Well, tomorrow's Sunday, so we can take our time making it tonight. Emma's eyes sparkled. Pink dress with a white ribbon hair accessory. Her quiet but strong-willed daughter served as the library committee member at school. Teachers praised her as a responsible student, making her parents proud. On weekends, they attended church as a family and valued their neighborhood relationships. 5 years since moving to this town. Abigail took pride in the life they had chosen. In her white blouse and navy pantsuit, Abigail, looking every bit the career woman, pushed her cart toward the checkout. She had just been assigned a new project in the morning meeting, a major campaign for a leading beverage manufacturer. She felt fulfilled balancing work and family life. Thank you for shopping with us again, ma'am. Martha, the cashier, greeted her warmly. As a regular customer who visited at least twice a week, she had become familiar with the staff. As usual, Emma received candy from Martha, showing a shy smile. Seasonal peaches were piled high on the shelf beside the register. While feeling the changing seasons, Abigail took out her membership card from her wallet. Mom, do you think we'll see Jessica at church tomorrow? I'm sure we will. She was absent last week, after all. Emma's best friend Jessica was someone she met at Sunday school at the Woodlands United Methodist Church. Abigail, who also served as a PTA officer, valued their church connections. Sunday worship was precious family time. Through church volunteer activities, their bonds with the community grew stronger. Next week would bring preparations for the children's summer Bible school. After finishing shopping, they headed to the parking garage. The sunlight was still strong, with heat rising from the asphalt. Just a little further to their white SUV parked on the second floor. Security cameras were systematically placed throughout the parking garage, with guards making regular rounds. Abigail was mentally planning the dinner preparations. Homemade hamburger patties with fresh organic vegetable salad. She'd make the mashed potatoes a bit firm, just how Daniel liked them. With apple pie for dessert, it would surely be a lovely Friday night. She could feel the coldness of the vanilla ice cream through the shopping bag. The weekend would bring Emma's library committee activity report. Watching her daughter grow, Abigail couldn't help but feel blessed. Daniel would surely listen with his usual gentle smile. In her heart, she offered a prayer of thanks to God. A familiar place, familiar time, familiar family scene that everyone knew. Little did Abigail know that this daily life was about to be greatly shaken. "Ma'am, please step away from that vehicle." Suddenly, a police officer's voice rang out from behind. A uniformed man was jogging toward them from across the parking garage. Abigail froze in place. Emma's small hand gripped her mother's arm tightly. An apple rolled out of the shopping bag. "Don't move. Stay right where you are." The officer's voice echoed through the parking garage. Blue and red rotating lights cast eerie reflections on the concrete walls. Abigail instinctively shielded her daughter. She could feel Emma's body trembling. "Ma'am, security discovered a suspicious device under the car. We're waiting for the bomb squad to arrive." Those words sent chills down Abigail's spine. Yellow tape was already being placed around the white SUV, with uniformed officers quickly cordoning off the area. Other shoppers were beginning to evacuate. "Mom. I'm scared." Emma's voice trembled. Abigail squeezed her daughter's hand tightly. A nearby officer began guiding them to a safe location. "That person." Suddenly, Emma burst into tears. An expression of deep fear that Abigail had never seen before. She gently held her daughter's shoulders and met her eyes. "Emma, what's wrong?" "That person, near school." Teary eyes. Quivering lips. Emma was desperately trying to communicate something. "Said they were Dad's friend." Abigail's heart began racing. "When? Who?" "For about a week, a woman would talk to me." Emma's confession set off alarms in Abigail's mind. Someone had been approaching her daughter after school, claiming to be acquainted with Dad. "I saw her today too, in the parking lot." Just then, a security guard radioed in that they had found the suspect. Sirens wailed and patrol cars screeched away. Abigail held Emma tightly. "It's okay, we're safe now." However, contrary to her words, her heart was in turmoil. Why would her husband's acquaintance approach their daughter? Why was there a suspicious device on the car? And most importantly, why had Emma kept quiet until now? "Ma'am, could you assist us with our investigation?" A police officer who appeared to be the incident commander approached. While showing his badge, he began explaining carefully. Initial investigation by the bomb squad revealed that a fake explosive device was placed under the vehicle. While not an actual explosive, it appears to have been planted as a threat. Abigail took a deep breath. In her confused mind, she recalled Daniel's behavior that morning. His usual smile. Gentle voice. Kind words. Everything had been too normal. Regarding the female suspect, the police officer carefully chose his words in the station's interview room. Rachel Collins, age 29. Former model, currently unemployed. She claims to have been involved with your husband for 8 months. It started with a meeting at an upscale restaurant, followed by an intermittent relationship. Abigail's fingertips trembled. Emma was in the next room, presumably drinking hot cocoa with a female officer. 2 months ago, Collins threatened to continue the relationship by claiming pregnancy, but the test results were forged. When Mr. Watson tried to end the relationship, she resorted to this threat. The clock on the wall ticked mercilessly. The suspect has a criminal record. Her method involves approaching married men, establishing relationships, then demanding settlement money. This time, when faced with the relationship ending, she panicked and took more aggressive measures. Abigail closed her eyes. The stalking of Emma. Threats with fake explosives. It had all been a calculated crime. In her memory, her husband's smile became distorted. She apparently saw your weekend barbecue party photos on social media. From there, she tracked your family's patterns. Just then, there was a knock. A female officer carefully showed her face. Emma wants to see her mother. Abigail stood up. Her steps were now unwavering. When she opened the door to the adjacent room, Emma ran to her. "Mom. I'm sorry. They said they were Dad's friend. You have nothing to apologize for." Abigail held her daughter tightly. Warm tears rolled down her cheeks. "From now on, Mom will always protect you." Through the police station window, she could see the twilight coloring the city. Their new life was about to begin from this moment. The dark news filled the society pages of the next day's Houston Chronicle. On a quiet morning before Sunday service, the sound of newspaper delivery echoed through the neighborhood houses. Former model arrested in extortion attempt against pharmaceutical executive. A sequence of characters that seemed like someone else's story. But for Abigail, it was a reality that shook her life. She quietly threw the newspaper placed on the breakfast table into the trash. The aroma of coffee wafted from the kitchen. The same morning scene as always, yet everything looked different. "Mom, about school today?" Emma asked in a small voice. Seeing her daughter's hesitant expression about going to school, her resolve as a mother solidified. "Let's take the day off." The phone rang. It was from Daniel. Over 20 missed calls since last night. Messages on the answering machine saying, "Let me explain," and, "It's a misunderstanding." She hadn't responded to any of them. Instead, she made just one call. Jennifer Martin Law Office. One of the city's top divorce attorneys. Despite the early hour, they responded immediately. In a calming reception room that felt like a counseling office, Abigail told everything. The police report, the stalking of Emma, and her husband's betrayal. "I've determined this is an urgent case. Would 2 p.m. today work for you?" Abigail checked the time. There were things to take care of before then. Back at home, she headed to Emma's room. "Emma, could you choose what you need to take? Mom will help." The girl nodded silently. As they climbed the stairs, another phone call rang out behind them. The caller ID showed Daniel. Emma's room was a lovely space with pink as its base color. Family photos of the three of them smiling adorned the walls. Abigail quietly removed them and placed them in a cardboard box. The smiles in the photos now seemed painful to look at. "Should we take this?" A doll that Daniel had given her for Christmas. Emma hesitated, then shook her head. A look of determination appeared in her small eyes. "We'll buy you a new doll." According to the police report, evidence of extortion against multiple men was found in Rachel Collins's home. According to her statement, Daniel had been her wealthiest target. From their meeting at an upscale restaurant, through 8 months of involvement, to the fake pregnancy threat, it had all been planned. At 2 p.m., Abigail calmly explained the situation to Attorney Martin. The police report handed over with trembling hands. Security camera footage. The evidence of infidelity was clear. "We'll definitely pursue compensation and child support. The evidence of infidelity is sufficient. We can also obtain the police statements." Emma was playing with building blocks with office staff in the next room. While watching her daughter smile, Abigail signed the documents. Her hand holding the pen showed no hesitation. "Don't worry about what's ahead. We'll support you with everything we have." She nodded slightly at the lawyer's words. A gentle spring breeze embraced the two as they left the office. "Mom, can we stop at that park?" A small park visible through the car window. Emma pointed to it on their way to their new apartment. "Of course." She gently stroked her daughter's hair as she sat on the swing. Children's laughter echoed through the twilight park. The church counselor had said, "Cherishing small daily joys is important for healing the heart." 1 month later. "Congratulations on your promotion, Ms. Watson. Promotion to creative director at the advertising agency. A position with greater responsibility." Yet Abigail's expression was more dignified than ever before. Their new life was quietly but surely getting on track. From their high-rise apartment near downtown, they had a panoramic view of Houston's night skyline. Emma's new school reported her as a highly adaptable student. On weekends, they held home parties with neighboring families. Emma was making new friends. The church community also extended warm support. Sunday school teachers made time for individual attention, and they introduced support groups for single mothers. While healing wounded hearts took time, the feeling that they weren't alone gradually made them stronger. "Hey Mom." Emma came into the kitchen where Abigail was preparing dinner in the early summer sunlight. She held her completed homework notebook. "For Mother's Day tomorrow, I'll make breakfast." And Emma shyly opened the last page of her notebook. An essay titled, "My Hero." It contained her feelings for her mother, written in small letters. Abigail couldn't help but embrace her daughter. Warm tears rolled down her cheeks. The wounds were healing, slowly but surely. Counseling sessions at church were now just once a month. "She's a resilient child," they said of Emma. Mother and daughter, walking together in their new life. Though not an easy journey, they were steadily moving forward, step by step. Outside the window, a spring thunderstorm was passing. A rainbow appeared in the distance, as if announcing the arrival of a new season. Fresh basil scent wafted from the small herb garden on the balcony. Abigail looked up at the sky. This wasn't an ending. It was a new beginning. Happiness might not always come in the form we first imagine. But she knew it was definitely there. A small hand grasped hers. "Mom, do you think it'll be sunny tomorrow?" "Yes, I'm sure it will be." The conversation between mother and daughter echoed gently through their new home. Daisies in the vase gleamed in the sunset. Tomorrow would surely be a wonderful day. She now had the strength to believe that. The bond that had grown stronger and more tender through adversity. It was something precious that no one could break. On a sunny July day, Abigail was opening a letter in her new home office. The divorce mediation was entering its final stage, and court documents had been arriving regularly. The stack of papers on her mahogany desk was evidence of her new life. Emma was at the pool with friends, making it a rare quiet Saturday afternoon. From the high-rise apartment windows, Houston's skyline stretched out before her. On the study wall hung photos from Emma's new school. Her daughter smiling with the library committee members. The world of books had helped heal her wounded heart. "May God bless your new beginning." A handwritten message card from Reverend Mary warmed her heart. Elegant handwriting accompanied by Bible verses. In the Woodlands United Methodist Church support group, she had become a counselor for newly joined mothers. The Wednesday night gatherings in a church room had become a place of spiritual healing. "It was through God's guidance that I overcame this trial." Her words gave courage to mothers carrying wounded hearts. Just as she once had. "How about having a barbecue party this weekend? Emma and Jessica would love it." It was a suggestion from Sarah, her neighbor. She was also a single mother with a daughter the same age. She had warmly welcomed them since they first moved in. On weekends, the two families would watch movies or cook together, surely nurturing new forms of family bonds. "Yes, I'll ask the building manager if we can use the courtyard." The high-rise apartment building had a rooftop garden for residents on the top floor. Complete with barbecue grills, it was busy with families on weekends. Emma and Jessica truly enjoyed their time there. "Mom, look." Emma, back from the pool, showed off a new badge gleaming on her uniform. The words "Head Library Committee" shone in gold. "Everyone chose me." The librarian was happy too. Abigail returned a heartfelt smile to her daughter's proud expression. Painful memories were gradually being replaced by new ones. The confidence in Emma's eyes had lost its former timidity. Outside the window where mother and daughter looked up, the sun shone brightly after the rain, as if announcing the arrival of a new season. On their small balcony, pots of herbs that Emma carefully tended stood in a row. The scent of basil and rosemary drifted into the room on the breeze. That day's terror and despair in the supermarket parking lot. Having overcome that, the two had certainly grown stronger. And they would continue to grow stronger. Even if tears sometimes fell, they would no longer look back. Sometimes God shows us life's path in unexpected ways. It might not always be an easy journey, but Abigail believed there was always light ahead. Faith had become the solid foundation of their new life. Shall we make tomorrow's lunch together? Should we invite Jessica too? Yes. I'll make lemonade. Bright voices of mother and daughter echoed in the kitchen. A peaceful evening in their new home. The houseplant by the window cast gentle shadows in the sunset light. It was both an ending and a beginning. And it was just the prologue of a hope-filled story that would continue on.